I've been with Gabriel for 10 years. I had his favorite gardenia tattooed on my collarbone. He finally agreed to marry me, yet he's keeping an 18-year-old girl on the side. Before our wedding, he indulged her in counting down to our breakup, accompanied her bungee jumping, skiing, traveled to Iceland to watch the northern lights, but he has no idea I don't have much time left. I booked a flight abroad, donated all his fortune, and had the tattoo lasered off while he counted down each day to our wedding. I was planning my escape the day I was diagnosed with stomach cancer. The girl Gabriel was keeping saw me on her own accord. I know I'm the other woman, she said, her voice startlingly sincere. She bit her lip. Sister, I know you're getting married soon, but Gabriel doesn't love you anymore. I'd been with him a year. We'd slept together 78 times, 53 times in hotels, 21 at my place, and 4 times at your house in your bed. She met my gaze directly. If Gabriel still loved you, I would never exist. And through the smoke, said, what else? Go on. She pulled out her phone and played a video. The angle was furtive, like it was taken secretly. The girl was nestled in Gabriel's arms, crying. Even if you marry her out of responsibility, can you not leave me? Gabriel pushed her away, tossed a bank card at her. Find a decent man. Staying with me isn't good to dangerous. No, she wrapped her arms around his waist, cooing. I'm not afraid of danger. Can you not leave me? Gabriel, I won't be a burden, never. Gabriel froze. His gaze lingered on her face, a flicker of distraction in his eyes. Then he kissed her. I stubbed out the cigarette. The girl was exactly 18, her face full of collagen, genuinely innocent. And the moment I saw her, I knew she looked like me, like Elena at 18. You're right about one thing, I said, standing out. My abdomen ached. But I propped myself against the table, showing nothing. If Gabriel still loved me, you wouldn't exist. But I'd advise you not to fall too deep. Gabriel doesn't love you. He never loved me either. He only loves the Elena in his memories, the pure, perfect one who died long ago on the way to helping him climb to the top. In a few years, he'll find a new replacement and you'll end up worse off than me. But I was lying. I was dying. How could she end up worse? At most, Gabriel would get tired of her and cast her aside. I'd been with Gabriel since I was 18. I grew up without parents. My grandmother, who raised me, died when I was 15. That's when Gabriel appeared. He pursued me fiercely, spent money like water, as if he wanted to lay the whole world at my feet. He was handsome, and he gave me a sense of security I'd never known. I fell fast on my 19th birthday. He coaxed me into my first time that night, pain giving way to surrender. We became entangled irreversibly. The next day, Gabriel took me to meet his crew. I'd never seen anything like it. Clinging nervously to his sleeve, murmuring greetings when he prompted me, their stares were mocking. Gabriel, you found a little girl? Too innocent. I'll hold you back. I didn't understand what hold you back meant then. I couldn't help but whisper, no, I won't. I won't be a burden to Gabriel. Never. But later, as I inched into Gabriel's world, I realized the life he led. Dangerous, dancing on the edge of a knife. To not hold him back, to stand beside him. I forced myself to fit in. 10 years. I cut my hair short, dyed it, smoked, got tattoos, even collected countless scars because I was ruthless enough. I helped Gabriel climb to become the second in command of Beijing's underground scene, but Gabriel never seemed happy. Countless nights, he'd hold me, his fingers brushing my scars before kissing them gently. Elena, he'd murmur, burying his face in my chest. I still prefer the old you. I'd always pause, then push him away, light a cigarette, and laugh bitterly. Gabriel, that's a fucked up thing to say. Gabriel came home in the early hours. I lay in bed, not sleeping, just staring into the dark until he pulled me into his arms. Not asleep. He bent to kiss me, but I turned my head. He froze, then reined in his temper, hugging me. Who upset you? I'll cut them down. Yeah, Gabriel. The room was so dark I couldn't see his face. But I smelled gardenia on him, the same scent as always. Let's break up. Gabriel stiffened, then let go, rolling to his side. What now? He rubbed his brow irritably. You're not a kid anymore. Stop being so dramatic. Break up. Elena, you're not young to marry a woman who smokes, drinks, has tattoos, and is tougher than most men. My chest throbbed. I pressed a hand to it, but couldn't stem the sharp Spreading pain last year, when I got stitches in my arm, I was allergic to the anesthetic. 12 stitches, so I bid back every sound but Gabriel's drunken. Offhand words stem my eyes red. Gabriel, I found myself asking, if I had a terminal illness. Would you? Well, no, he cut me off, irritation edging his voice. Stop with these stupid questions. If you really had a terminal illness, I'd go down with you, okay? I'm swamped with the wedding and work. I don't have time to coddle you. Stop acting out. Just then, his phone rang. Gabriel hung up, annoyed it rang again. After a few rounds, he grabbed it and got up. What? A girl's sobs came through the receiver. Faint but clear. Gabriel cursed. Fucking bother, but for all his grumbling. He grabbed his things and headed out. Business issue. I'll handle it. Sleep early. Don't wait up. Our wedding was set for the 3rd day of next month. Simple, no fuss. I never told Gabriel about the cancer terminal, no cure, basically. And I never told him I'd never marry him. I could accept almost everything about Gabriel except betrayal. The thought of him holding another woman, kissing her, searching her face for traces of my younger self made my stomach churn. Disgusting. I'd wasted half my life on him, from 18 to 28. Male. The doctors said I had 6 months left. I wanted to be Elena again. In whatever time I had. I booked a flight abroad, hoping to see the world I'd loved but never explored, while I still had the strength. The ticket was for the 3rd day of next month. Early morning, I crossed another day off the calendar. 10 days left until I left. The door opened behind me. Gabriel came in, dusted with snow, took off his coat, and walked over to hug me. He still hated my short hair. His gaze fell on the calendar, and he smiled, pinching my cheek. Can't wait to marry me. He counted the days. 10 left. Burying his face in my neck, he said, I'll find 10 these 2 days to take you to dye your hair back black, maybe get extensions. You'll look beautiful at the wedding. Numbed. I stared at the calendar, expressionless. It's almost over. Short hair's fine. Gabriel was quiet for a long while. Yeah. He let go, picked up his coat from the chair. Wedding stuff's chaotic. Third brother's place got trashed yesterday. I'm swamped. Might not come back for a bit. He watched me as he spoke, waiting. I think, for me to relent, for me to say, okay. Take me to dye it. Let's get extensions. But I just looked back, coolly. Go on at us. Only 10 days left, anyway. Gabriel said nothing. He walked into the night, and never looked back. 7 days before the wedding, I went to a tattoo parlor in the suburbs. The owner was a woman in her 30s, well-maintained but with a face full of weariness. She glanced at me. What do you want? I rolled up my sleeve, pointed to the SE on my wrist bone, then exposed the gardenia below my collarbone. Remove both. The woman looked at them. Removal will hurt and it'll leave scars. I smiled. I'm not afraid. Pain was the last thing I feared. No, as for scars, I already had countless ones all over my body. 2 more wouldn't matter. Besides, in 6 months, this body might be reduced to ashes. The woman chatted with me as she worked. Broken up. I laughed. Almost 7 days left. She clicked her tongue down. How ceremonial. A countdown to a breakup. Or maybe we just clicked from the first glance. I felt we were cut from the same cloth. I found myself telling her about the past. When Gabriel first pursued me, I'd given him a deadline, 300 days. If he lasted that long, I'd be his. Every morning, he'd show up, counting down. 179 days left, Elena, 96 days till you're my girlfriend. 1 day to go. Almost mine. That boy who'd stuck it out through rain and shine for 300 days to win me over grew tired of me over the next decade. We hit it off, so as she worked on the removal, I told her the stories behind those tattoos. The SC on my wrist was done a year into our relationship. Back then, his enemies had kidnapped me to threaten him. Gabriel had gone to save me alone, walking into a deadly trap without hesitation. He'd nearly been hacked to death that day when he was discharged from the hospital. I'd gone to a tattoo parlor and got his initials inked. I'd naively thought I'd chosen Gabriel for light, but that night, when I'd proudly showed him my still red wrist, he'd frozen. There was not the slightest trace of the touch I had imagined. He frowned, asking why I'd done it, if it hurt. Finally, he pulled me into his arms. Don't do this again. I don't like it. I don't like you hurting yourself. You ray perfect as you are, clean, unmarked. Elena. I was young then, taking it as concern, never realizing Gabriel had spoken his truth. The gardenia on my chest. Down when he'd sworn he'd marry me by the time I turned 28. Gabriel loved gardenias, loved their pure whiteness. So I edged one over my heart, waiting for him to keep his promise now at 28. He'd finally set a wedding date, counting down the 7 days while I planned my exit. This body was failing. But I refused to carry his marks when I left. I pointed to the other side of my collarbone. Tattoo a trumpet vine here. Gabriel loved gardenias. I preferred trumpet vines, bold, climbing high, defying walls. He wanted me pure and unblemished, but in the time I had left, I'd be my own wild bloom leaving the parlor. It was evening. The owner and I had hit it off so well we'd exchanged contacts and added each other on WeChat. On my way home, I passed a cotton candy stand. I paused. The last time I'd had any was as a kid, when my grandma, who'd erased me after my parents died, was still alive. She'd pull out every cent she had to buy me one whenever I'd lingered, watching. She'd always wait till I finished, then chuckle, greedy girl. Grandma loved seeing me smile, her own face crinkling with joy. A cold wind scattered the memory. I walked to the stand and bought a rabbit-shaped cotton candy, sweet just like I remembered. Passing a street corner, I heard a little girl exclaim, "Mom, look. That auntie's so cool, but why's she eating cotton candy? Isn't that for kids?" Her mom laughed. "Who says cotton candy's only for kids? Everyone can have some. A little sweetness makes people happier." I walked by in my heels. Then heard the girl's childish voice again, "But if the auntie ate something that sweet, why doesn't she look happy? Mom, she looks so lonely." The voices faded. By the time I got home, the cotton candy was gone, leaving sticky residue on my hands. I washed them. Then Gabriel called, sounding drunk. "Elena?" "Yes?" He laughed on the other end. 7 days till you're mine. Tomorrow, let's pick your wedding dress. Whatever you choose, you know my size." Gabriel fell silent faintly. I heard a girl's coo, "Gabriel, let me go with you to try on suits. Don't you want to see me in a wedding dress?" After a long pause, Gabriel's voice came. Hoarse, sure. I couldn't tell if he was answering me, or her. Waking up, I crossed yesterday off the calendar. 6 days left today. I was going to a concert. I got dressed, washed up, put on makeup. My body ached everywhere, but I could push through. In the mirror, a woman in a short skirt Gabriel hated, showing slender limbs, a calm smile. Finally at peace with the ugly scars dotting my skin beneath my right collarbone. A trumpet vine bloomed. The concert venue was packed. I sang along with the crowd, belting out, "I proudly destroy, I hate the ordinary." Only to remember those were my dearest loves. To caught up, I didn't notice the pain flaring until the song ended. Clutching my seat, I struggled to stay upright. Suddenly, a carton of milk appeared in front of me. My stomach felt like it was being knifed. I looked up to see a young, unfamiliar face. A boy in a cream down jacket, smiling. "Stomachike, the milk's warm." "Here," I took it. The warmth in my palm chasing away some shell francs. During the intermission, he shook his head. "No problem, my girlfriend loved helping people. She'd be glad I gave this to you." I glanced at the empty seat beside him. "She couldn't make it." He smiled. But his eyes clouded over. "She passed away. I'm here for her." The milk felt like a lump in my throat. "I'm sorry, it's okay." Music swelled again, and everyone turned to the stage. They were picking lucky audience members. The big screen flashed through rows of faces, then froze on mine. The camera had framed me and the boy as a pair. People around us cheered, urging a kiss. He quickly pulled a photo from his pocket, holding it high for the camera. It was his girl. A microphone was thrust into my hand. I froze, then looked at the singer I'd loved for years, whispering, "Hope more people see you, love you. Hope you get better and better." I don't know what else to say, so here's to everyone. May you live to be 100. Some laughed, probably confused by such a plain wish. The camera panned away as the next song started. I saw the boy stroke the photo gently, his eyes red, murmuring softly, "May my Lucas live to be 100 too." For no reason. I wanted to cry. After the concert, I dragged myself home. I'd forgotten to close the window. The room was freezing. I shut it, took off my makeup, and collapsed into bed. Scrolling through a short video app, I was hit with a may no recommendation. The user ID, Leela. In the video, the girl wore a white wedding dress, arm linked with a man whose face was blurred. Her eyes were innocent, but there was ambition in them. 6 days left till my boyfriend marries someone else. Just a few more days with him. Wish this moment could last forever. On screen, Gabriel's arm circled her waist gently. 5 days left. I felt surprisingly well today. Got up early and did something big. Donated every cent Gabriel had stashed with me. 8 figures, not a penny left. He'd betrayed me in love, but kept no secrets in life. Over the years, he'd transferred almost all his earnings to me, keeping only enough for daily expenses. I put it in Gabriel's name. After all, it was his money. Might as well earn him some good karma. As for my savings, donated half, kept half to spend. Dying was painful enough. I wasn't about to make it worse by running out of money before the end. But as I walked out of the charity office, my vision blurred suddenly, and I blacked out. I woke up in a hospital bed. The nurse said they'd called my emergency contact repeatedly, but no one answered. My only emergency contact was Gabriel. Sorry. I'll go pay the bill downstairs. The doctor frowned, urging me to stay. If you don't get treatment, you might not make it 6 months. I smiled, asking, and if I do get treatment? I can't promise the outcome, but I can promise we'll fight for every chance. In truth, even with treatment, hope was slim. Thank you, doctor. But please help me check out. Just stepping out of the office, Gabriel called. I was busy earlier. Didn't hear the phone. What's up? I stared at a familiar figure at the end of the corridor. Nothing. I lost my phone. A kind passerby called my emergency contact. Good, the wedding's soon. Need anything? No. Another silence, then Leela's annoyed whine came through. Hurry up. The ice cream's melting. Gabriel spoke up. Call me if you need anything. He hung up. I frowned, looking at the acquaintance not far away, the Tata parlor owner. She was bending down to pick up a wig knocked off by a passing child. Looking up, our eyes met. It's you? She clearly recognized me. Adjusting her askew wig. Didn't tell you last time. We're the same. More or less. Both living on borrowed time. Was gonna close the shop that day. She smiled. You were my last client. What's wrong with you? Leukemia, she shrugged. Nonchalant. No cure. We walked out of the hospital together. I fished out cigarettes. And we struggled to light each other's in the wind. Catching each other's eyes, we burst out laughing. Fucking two unlucky souls. We laughed, watching smoke dissipate in the wind like our impending endings. I changed my flight. No more going abroad. Oliver and I booked tickets to City A instead. My body couldn't handle a flight across the Atlantic. Maybe fate decided I'd never see those foreign shores. To dying souls. We hit it off instantly. Both wanted to see Ray Lake last night. Leela posted another video. 5 days left. Thank you for braving your fear to bungee jump with me. I love you too. In the clip, Gabriel and her, harnessed together, stood on a 100-meter platform, embracing as they leapt. Stared of heights, his body tense but mid-fall. He shouted, I love you, Leela, for days till the wedding. Oliver asked what else I wanted to do. I thought, then asked her to come with me to see someone on the way. Oliver asked, a friend? I shook my head, quite the opposite. She's my archenemy. Oliver raised an eyebrow but didn't press. I stopped at a flower shop first, buying a bouquet. Sophia was the toughest woman in East District, running 7 or 8 bars. Ruthless to others, harder on herself. We defeated for years, neither gaining ground. The moment Oliver and I walked into her bar, we were stopped. Helena, summoned. She frowned. What are you here for? To call you an old hag. Her face flushed. Then she erupted into curses. We traded insults for half an hour. I felt lighter grabbing a nearby drink. I took a sip only to have Oliver stop me from a second. Just a taste. I relented, waving at Sophia. All right, I'm leaving. Go easy on the fighting. Settle down. Save energy for finding a younger guy. Even as I walked out, I heard Sophia's confused shout to her underlings. What the hell? She came just to yell at me for half an hour. Is she nuts? I turned back. Saw her kick a little brother. Did I lose? I didn't get to properly unload. I laughed. Heading out dying made even a lifelong rival seem endearing. On the way home, my phone vibrated. Sophia had sent a photo of the roses. You sent these? Yeah. After nearly 2 minutes of silence, messages flooded in. What's with the flowers? Little girls like flowers. Do I look like I care? You didn't hide dynamite in them, did you? Elena. Don't think a botcha fixes things. Not like this is my first time getting flowers. They're nice though. Thanks. Dinner sometime. I smiled, typing slowly. Sure, hunting fulfilled my obsession. If we get the chance. That night, Leela posted again. For days left. Gonna miss this. Skiing with you, loving how you protect me like a dad. In the video, Leela fell in the snow. Someone skied down from above. Gabriel lived to shield her with his body. The videos were gaining traction. Comments pouring in. Why? Why must lovers part? He's clearly in love. Why marry someone else? Family pressure? Poor girl, holding back tears. Are you all brainless? Getting married but doing a breakup countdown with your ex. Scum and slut deserve each other. Leave the bride alone. Debate raged. But most waited to see how it'd end, and for days tired of their drama, I swiped past. Every liking a video of a guy with a killer waist. 3 days left. Bottles emptied. The mood grew lively. Talk turned to Gabriel and me. Second brother really loves you. You know, said a guy, thin to the point of gauntness, nicknamed Theodore. Once he got drunk and cried for ages, saying he hated himself for not protecting you. Said he's sometimes scared to come home, 'cause seeing you reminds him. He's the one who ruined you. He sighed, but I've thought about it, and you should know. Elena, have they? Second brother's keeping a girl. Someone kicked him. Fuck. How much have you drunk? Sis, Theodore's wasted. I'll take him home. You guys keep drinking. They dragged him away. No one believed him. Just drunk, rambling. The table buzzed, gushing about Gabriel's love. One even called him on speaker. What? Spit it out. Gabriel's voice. Short but with a faint lift. Too familiar. That post-orgasm lilt. My brow twitched. Elena's treating us. Haven't seen you in ages, they chanted. Second brother. Busy? Come drink with us. Gabriel paused 2 seconds. Got stuff to do. You guys go on. Watch over Elena. No heavy drinking. Send 2 guys to take her home safe. Got it? After hanging up, the brothers sighed. See, Elena? He's always thinking of you. As single folks have had our fill of your lovey-dovey stuff. I said nothing. Sipping juice. Room temperature, but it still stung my abdomen. I've forgotten painkillers. Too uncomfortable. I stepped outside for air. Snow was falling. Leaning against a street lamp, I found myself opening Leela's videos. Suddenly desperate to know what they were up to. She deposted 5 minutes ago, him and her side by side. Aurorus blazing above. 3 days till breakup. He flew me to Iceland overnight to see the Aurorus, just to grant my wish. They're beautiful, but not as much as him. But what can I do? He'll belong to someone else soon. Never mind, God, don't worry about me. Let him be happy first. I'm fine. Minutes, like sneered 1,000 and climbed. Crying, God, don't worry about me, let them be happy. First time hating the Fiancé. Did she save his whole family or something? Disgusting comment sections full of love-struck idiots. Bought revival items for family, broke front-back cameras, matte urine, no mirrors at home. Show death sorts of parents before insulting me. I stared at the Aurorus in the video. Dazzling. Behind memory hit. 19, curled in Gabriel's arms, watching TV. Gabriel. When you make money, take me to see the Aurorus, okay? Sure. I will, someday. Snowflakes landed on my lashes, blurring my vision. I blinked. They melted. But the girl holding his hand under the Aurorus, she wasn't the 19-year-old Elena. The day before the wedding, early in the morning, I got a call from Gabriel. Tomorrow's the wedding, he said, his voice a little tired. Nervous? Not really. Been swamped lately. Did you miss me? Not really. Another silence. Then Gabriel murmured. I know you've been upset. Tomorrow, at the wedding, I'll give you a surprise. Okay, sure. After hanging up, I went out, hailed a taxi, and headed straight for the cemetery. My parents, my grandma, They're all resting there soon. I'll join them. Funny. Thinking about it, if death means reuniting with loved ones in the afterlife, maybe it's not so scary, maybe even something to look forward to. Grandma would probably chase me with her hand raised, scolding me for being disobedient. How dare I go down to join her so early? But she'd never really hit me. Just a light tap on the shoulder, then pull me close. Elena, were you wronged up there? Did the sickness hurt? Where does it hurt? Grandma, rub it better than to be scared. Elena, grandma, I'll take you home. I brought her favorite bamboo leaf green wine, poured a cup in front of her tombstone. Old lady, lonely down there? Is my dad treating you right? Wait a little longer. Our family will be together soon. I rambled for ages. Then stood up, rubbing my numb legs to leave. Thought better of it, turned back. Oh, and stop blessing Gabriel. He's a bastard, never took good care of me. I'm leaving. I brushed dust off the tombstone. See you later, old lady. I bought bags and bags of cat food, went to see a stray cat I'd been feeding for a long time. Meow, I smiled. Surprised, as it rubbed against my pants ledge. It was always aloof, never paid me any mind. But maybe it sensed the goodbye. This was the first time it had approached me. It nuzzled my hand gently, as if asking, can't you stay, eat up, eat lots? I stroked its head. Probably won't see you again. This should last you a long time. This cat had been adopted once. The family treated it well. But after a few days it ran away, choosing to stray. It hated being caged. Before leaving, I lit a cigarette, looking down at it. Goodbye. Little cat, may you stay free forever. On the way home, someone called my name. Elena. I recognized him at once. Sebastian, an old classmate. We hadn't seen each other in years. Back in school, everyone knew he had a crush on me, but he'd never said anything. I pretended not to notice, the tacit understanding remains unspoken. You remember me? He looked delighted. I tucked my short hair behind my ear. You haven't changed much, though. I'm surprised you recognized me. He said, his eyes bright. You're just like you were back then, exactly the same. How could that be? I smiled bitterly. Sometimes I barely recognize myself. Climbing up with Gabriel had been brutal. Over the years, I'd forced myself to fit in, until I was unrecognizable. Sebastian, though he seemed unchanged, his smile was still sincere, warm. Even in his 30s, there was a rare boyishness about him. He looked at me earnestly. How could I not recognize you? You judge a person by their eyes, not their clothes. Elena, you haven't changed. You just got a new haircut. It suits you. Those few words left me frozen. You haven't changed, you just got a new haircut. Thank you. Before leaving, he said, see you around. I said, sure. I better not. Next time I'd probably be a ghost. Bad luck. My luggage was already packed. Gabriel's gifts, the cheap ones thrown out, the expensive ones sold cheap on second-hand platforms. Without feelings, they were worthless. I didn't have much stuff, not even enough to fill a suitcase. The rest I burned. After all, when you die, your things get burned anyway. Sooner or later, same thing. As dusk fell, I dragged the suitcase. Never looking back, leaving the house I'd once called home. That night, Gabriel was staying at the hotel where he picked me up the next day. He texted me in the middle of the night, see you tomorrow. After all these years, finally marrying you. I didn't reply. By then, I was sitting in the airport lounge with Oliver. I'd also seen Leila's last video. Gabriel finally showing his face, had planted a tree with her, written a wish in a bottle. The paper inside held their hopes. The camera zoomed in. His wish, little girl, may you live a life without worries. Hers hope, Gabriel and I never part. Comments flooded in. Then following this, and it's really a tragedy. I'm crying. Can't they really be together? To the unknown bride, if you have any decency, let them be happy. Fucking hell. Why am I still seeing this after blocking? One last curse, a pair of dogs and bitches. Insult me and it'll bounce back. I closed the video, pulled out my SIM card, and tossed it in the trash. At the same time, the boarding announcement came. Oliver and I walked toward the gate, side by side, no looking back. City A was beautiful. Oliver and I helped each other climb Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, barely halfway up to sick people, pushing our limits. But the view was still stunning. We had mushroom hot pot, delicious, but I threw up after 2 bites. Such a waste. Oliver ate extra, said she'd eat for both of us. We rode elephants. Saire Ray was so beautiful that Oliver and I almost acted on an impulse to drown ourselves side by side, but before we could, the kind aunt stopped us. "What are you doing?" she asked, her northeast dialect thick, pulling us back. "Such pretty girls with so bad you can't get through. Listen to Ed, living's the most important thing. Everything else is bullshit. Ed has got candy real sweet. Come on, I said eat it. Cheer up, don't do something stupid, your folks be heartbroken." She was so kind, Oliver and I ate the candy, promise we'd never think like that again. She left. Glancing back every few steps, the candy was sweet, so sweet, it took away our courage to die. We decided to listen to Aunt live well, one more day's a bonus, no loss. Heard later, Gabriel lost his mind at the wedding, floods of WeChat messages. I never read them. Except Sophia's. She sent a video of the wedding. Gabriel stood on stage in a suit, uncharacteristically gentle. But when the hall doors opened, no bride appeared. His smile froze, awkward and painful. Sophia's camera zoomed in on his face, capturing every flicker of shock, panic, fear. "Elena. Here art on stage. Where is she? Find her for me." He sent all his men to look, no luck. One dared to ask, "Second brother? Did sister-in-law see the videos of you and that girl?" He froze. "What videos? I thought they were all blurred." Someone pulled up Leela's last video, showing him. "We only saw it yesterday, the others were blurred." "But not this one." Gabriel snatched the phone, his face turning white. "Fuck." He smashed it to pieces after the video ended. Sophia texted, "Damn. You pulled a big one without a sound. Where are you? Be honest, you're not dying of cancer, are you?" I didn't reply. Smart woman, guessing right. Sophia must have figured something out. She sent more videos. Not caring if I replied, guests left. Gabriel, eyes red, trashed the hall, screen shattered. Tables overturned until he collapsed. Sitting on the edge of the stage, head hanging. Like he was crying in the video. Sophia's voice was unapologetic. "Used to think you had good taste in men. Now, Elena. He's the worst ex you'll ever have. Oliver and I rented a house by Uray. Hired a live-in aide. She cleaned. Cooked 3 meals a day. A local. A little chubby, but kind and efficient. She fussed over how thin we were, said it broke her heart. Then spent every day experimenting with new dishes. Don Pope work today. Snowflake sponge cake tomorrow. I could barely eat anything. But hated to disappoint her. Forced down a few bites. Then threw up in the bathroom for ages. The woman in the mirror grew thinner by the day. Her cheeks slightly sunken, only making her eyes look larger. Oliver, I called her over. Look, don't I have that skeletal beauty now? She stood beside me, equally gaunt. And laughed, me too. We're like a pair of white bone demons. I stumbled on Gabriel's short video. He'd always hated being on camera, but now he glanced cautiously at the lens. Elena, if you're seeing this, don't swipe away, okay? The man looked haggard, stubble covering his jaw. Eyes bloodshot, no trace of his former swagger. Where are you? Let me come find you. Please, there are 2 things I'll regret forever. 1, finding a girl who looks like you. Indulging myself. I never loved her. Every minute with her, I saw the 18-year-old you. The other, dragging you into this life back then." His eyes red, he struggled to hold back. But his voice still trembled. "All these years, I've hated myself for not protecting you. I couldn't bear to listen." Swiping past Oliver, who'd heard enough, turned to me, grimacing. "You're not softening, are you? You won't forgive him?" "Of course not," I said, scrolling idly. "Not unless he dies with me. I lie. Even if Gabriel died for me, I'd never forgive him. He was too dirty." Gabriel's video went viral. He and Leela were soon slammed on the trending searches, labeled scum and slut. Thought the bride was some rich tyrant forcing him to marry. Turns out it's just 2 trash bags. What was Elena's 10 years worth? What were my tears those days worth? This homewrecker's got bitterness and sentiment down to bad. She's only got the bitterness part. That girl was my middle school classmate, always acted innocent with that pure face. But stole boyfriends and bullied girls behind backs. Disgusting. We owe a riddance to the assholes. Satisfying. No one's gonna insult me this time, right? Leela's past was quickly exposed. Stories from her school days flooded the comments, with former classmates joining in to tear her down. Photos of Leela and Gabriel were turned into memes. Viciously insulting ones. A new phrase even emerged: Leela, don't be such a Leela. Compared to Gabriel's power, she was just a girl with no connections. Her address was easily found, and concerned netizens started camping outside her door. She lived on the first floor. Every night, her windows were smashed every time she went out. People screamed, "Homewrecker. Bitch." Someone threw rotten eggs into her house, splashed paint on her door. Her whole family became laughing stocks. Heard she got depression, locking herself in her room, reading the hate comments over and over. Breaking down. Screaming, throwing things. Gabriel dumped her. Rumor had it he hit her after that video. Hard enough that she was carried home later. Leela lost her mind. Crying and laughing in her room. Hugging a giant teddy bear, calling it Gabriel. 2 months later, her parents sent her to a mental hospital. Photos from outside the hospital showed her unrecognizable, messy hair, wild eyes. Skeletal. Terrified of everyone. Netizens were pleased. Serves her right. Waiting for the scumbag's end. Why does he get to hide? Heard he's in the underworld. Hope he gets hacked to death. I really was unlucky. The doctor said 6 months, but in 2, my body crashed. The day after Oliver and I rode elephants. I couldn't get out of bed. We both agreed, no treatment. But Oliver still dragged me to the hospital. Her eyes red, shed panicked after resuscitation. I walked out to find Oliver. Her eyes swollen. "You scared the shit out of me," she cursed, fumbling for a cigarette. Then stopping. Hospital rules in the ward. We stared at each other. Then laughed. Humans are so complicated. To women who thought we were brave enough to laugh at death. Yet when it came, we flinched. No one's truly fearless, but fate waits for no one. Oliver traced the trumpet vine on my collarbone, smiling through tears. "That was my last piece of work. You Ray, taking it with you so soon? Asshole." "Good though," she said, grinning. "The one who goes first doesn't worry. On TF till take your ashes back. Bury you behind grandma's grave. Let you be together, okay?" She tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. "And wait for me down there. We'll reincarnate together." Elena died in cunning. Where spring lasts forever. She always said I was a free and easy person. I didn't cry when she died, but when I watched them wheel her into the crematorium, saw the flames swallow her, something in me shattered. That was Elena, a living, breathing person who'd laughed and coaxed me to take medicine, and just the day before. Now, she was gone, reduced to ashes in a tiny box. The housekeeper cried hard. If I'd known she was sick, I'd have cooked lighter food. Should I have made more soup? The other morning she wore too little. It were too little. I snapped at her to put on a coat. Do you think she thought I was being mean? She sobbed. She was only 28. Younger than my daughter. I held Elena's ashes, my eyes burning. She'd always thought she'd failed her grandma. Hadn't grown up pure. She never saw how big she was, good enough to make a housekeeper who'd known her 2 months cry till she choked. On the flight back, I stared at the clouds outside, whispering, "Eleanor, we're going home." I buried her behind her grandma's grave. Grandma would watch over her. Portrait was taken in advance. Short hair, clear eyes, smiling bright at the camera. I placed flowers on her tombstone, murmuring, "Hadin Thilblade session. You must be the prettiest ghost in this cemetery." I cleaned grandma's grave, poured wine. "Grandma." I brought Eleanor on tea, scolded her for coming early. She suffered so much. Her last days. The pain. She doesn't have to endure it anymore, popping painkillers by the handful. It started to drizzle. I held an umbrella, walking out of the cemetery only to bump into a man. A man I'd never met, but heard so much about, Gabriel. I froze, pretending not to know him. But he stopped me. He stared at me. "Boy's horse. I've seen your photo. You're Oliver. I checked the flights. You went to City A with Elena. I searched everywhere there. Couldn't find her." He seemed to realize something, his body trembling as he looked past me at the cemetery. "What are you doing here?" I met his eyes, word by word, saying goodbye to Elena for the last time. "What?" He stumbled back, eyes flaring red. "Elena's dead. She died in my arms." Gabriel froze. The man, rumored to be violent, cried, "Where is she?" "Elena doesn't want to see you." "Cry at your own grave, not hers." Don't disturb her and Grandma. I didn't hide her death. He'd find out anyway. Her tombstone was right behind Grandma's. He'd see it if he ever visited, but I had to tell him. I asked Elena if she'd forgive you. Gabriel's lashes fluttered. His face ashen, waiting. He knew her too well, must have guessed. I said. Elena said. Unless he dies. Before she died. She lasered off your initials, the gardenia. She hated gardenias. Got a trumpet vine on the other side. Her favorite. She threw out your gifts. Donated your money, burned all her things. No, why? I spoke slowly, watching his eyes go dead, strangely satisfying. She wanted nothing to do with you. You were too dirty. You disgusted her. Elena saw Leela's videos. You know, every day of that breakup countdown with your mistress. She knew. You thought those calendar marks were her counting down to your wedding? I laughed. Suddenly Gabriel hung his head. His eyelids suddenly twitching violently. I went on. She never wanted to marry you. That countdown on the calendar. She was counting the days till she left you. Amen. Rotten to the core. What made you think she'd still want you? His shoulders slumped completely. Choking, he said. I've always blamed myself for turning Elena into this. I knew she did it for me. That world doesn't tolerate innocence. My brothers wouldn't follow a naive sister-in-law. She was never a burden. I was the one who dragged her down. With Leela. I kept seeing Elena in her. Indulging her was my way of making up for what I did to the old Elena. I cut him off with a scoff. Spare me the bullshit. Elena was still alive when you cheated. If you felt guilty, why not make it up to her instead of a replacement? How laughable. Elena took all the pain, but your atonement goes to a stand-in. Gabriel fell silent, sobbing. I've only ever loved Elena all my life. Truth is, he trembled, indulging Leela those days was my way of saying goodbye to the past. To the old Elena. After the wedding, I'd have loved her wholeheartedly, made it up to her. I even got a vasectomy. Elena took a knife for me 2 years back, hurt her uterus. The doctor said she'd probably never have kids. He laughed bitterly. I got the surgery, planned to tell her after the wedding, I didn't need children. Just her. I cursed, then laughed. At least you did one decent thing. You lost Elena and your chance to have kids. Perfect. Standing in the rain, I savored his ruin. Heard you lost most of your territory? Wife gone, family scattered, everyone turned on you. Pathetic. Oh, and Elena wanted me to tell you, Sophia took over your spots? She had help. From Elena. While she was alive she knew all your weaknesses. But she was soft. Didn't want your old brothers to suffer. Made a deal with Sophia to give them all a way out. They were better off with her. I grinned. See? She planned for everyone, even left money with local shops to feed that stray cat. Everyone but you. Now do you get how much she hated you? The rain intensified, soaking him through. I held my umbrella. Walking away. No taxi, just strolling down the road outside the cemetery. Memories swirled. Times with Elena, older ones. She always called me free and easy. But I'd once clung to someone too. Got betrayed, learned to let go. Elena was luckier. She had grandma. Me, no family, an orphan. Fed by neighbors. A sudden screech cut through the rain. A black Land Rover, speeding, crashed into a fence. Explosive impact. That license plate 999. Elena had mentioned it. Gabriel's car, umbrella in hand, I watched the flames rise. Unfortunately, a passing car called an ambulance. The bag Gabriel out. I didn't stay. Hailed a taxi. I knew no matter how hurt he was, Gabriel would never truly live again. He didn't die. But life became worse than death. The love of his life refused to see him even in death. His brothers hated him for killing Elena. Flocked to Sophia. Territory gone, money donated. The crash didn't kill him, but took his legs. A useless man, too cowardly to even kill himself. Visiting Elena's grave. Bundled in a long coat to hide his legs, sitting stiff in a wheelchair, staring at her tombstone from afar. A frozen statue in the snow. He stayed hours, never dared step closer, not even when I left. This would be my last visit to Elena. Since her burial, my body had weakened. No Elena to coax me into taking medicine now. Some nights, pain jolted me awake. Pop handfuls of pills, repeat. Finally, had fulfilled my obsession. On a snowy day, my time came lying in bed. I stared out the window. There branches dusted with Snebada's new life vision blurred. There, Elena, standing in the snow, reaching for me. Come on, hadn't sold my obsession. Olivered on TB scared, I closed my eyes. Accepting death calmly. Arranged everything in advance, bought a grave right next to Elena's. The tombstone beside mine. New last year, held a photo, a girl with a round face. A dimple when she smiled. Gentle, beautiful name carved. Lucas. Lucas, nice name. I liked my new neighbor. Before consciousness faded. I thought in the afterlife, I'll open it at a parlor first, inked a trumpet vine and ghost Elena because trumpet vines, they're just like her.